Advent Code 2021, day 10. How's the audio? Check, check, check. Test 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Test. Good, 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 good. Got the transcoder even. Alright, I'm back for the second stream of the day. So earlier I did a day 7 Easter egg one. Now we're going to do day 10. I'm like an hour and 21 minutes behind, but that's okay. So let's get some stuff out of the way. Make sure my keyboard mappings are right. Okay, and then we're going to set up for day 10 here. Copy, paste, day 10. Mod day 10. Make a day 10 use. And I guess while I'm at it, make a benchmark for 10. And then let's see, go to the terminal, it's 2021, cargo run 10.1. Hello again, Swarm Collective. How are you doing? Getting ready to do day 10. I'm only like an hour and 22 minutes behind. That's okay. Let's make it file 10.txt. That needs to go in the source directory. Okay, day 10 should reference input 10. Let's get rid of some of this code. Mark this to do. Mark this to do. Things are going well. Long day though. Good thing you're off work tomorrow. Nice. I wish I was off work tomorrow. It's Thursday night for me, so I got one more day. Actually, you know what? I'd really like to finish this really quick so I could watch TV before I go to bed. Alright, ready for Advent Code 2021 day 10? Advent Code is 2 programming puzzles each day from December 1st to 25th. Use whatever language you want, challenge yourself, pick something you're not familiar with, or just go with the flow, maybe try to get to the top of the leaderboard. It's not possible to do that for day 10 anymore because it's already been solved in probably 2 minutes. The speed coders are really fast. The theme this year, it's always Christmas themed. It's usually corny. It's this one's where we lost Santa's sleigh's keys in the ocean, and this is like the ocean surface here, and this is the underground or underwater ground, and we're in a submarine and we're going down into caverns looking for the sleigh keys. So here we go. Day 10, syntax scoring. You ask the submarine to determine the best route out of the deep sea cave, but it only replies, syntax error in navigation system online. All of them. All of them. The damage is worse than you thought. You bring up a copy of the navigation system, your puzzle input. The navigation system syntax is made of several lines containing chunks. There are 1 or more chunks on each line, and chunks contain 0 or more other chunks. The adjacent chunks are not separated by any delimiter. If one chunk stops, the next chunk, if any, can immediately start. Every chunk must open and close with 1 of 4 legal pairs of matching characters. Those 4. So that's legal. So parentheses is a legal chunk that contains no other things, as is bracket. Okay, I get it. We're doing delimiter parsing. Some lines are incomplete, but others are corrupted. Find and discard the corrupted lines first. Corrupted line is one where a chunk closes with the wrong character. That is, where the characters it opens and closes with do not form one of the 4 legal pairs listed above. Examples of corrupted chunks are that, and that. Such a chunk can appear anywhere within a line, and its presence causes the whole line to be considered corrupted. For example, consider the following navigation system. Blah, 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 blah. Some of the lines aren't corrupted, just incomplete. You can ignore these lines for now. The remaining 5 lines are corrupted. This expects that somewhere, but found that instead probably right there. Yeah, that doesn't match that. Okay, stop at the first incorrect closing character on each corrupted line. Did you know that syntax checkers actually have contests to see who can get the high score for syntax errors in a file? It's true. To calculate the syntax error score for a line, take the first illegal character in a line and look it up in the following table. All right, in the above example, an illegal parentheses was found twice. Correct. Right there and there. So that's 6 points. That was found once, that was found once, and that was found once. So the total is this points. So that's going to form our test right there. And this is our input right here. Like so. So. Okay, ready to parse some syntax? So we need to throw away the bad line, no, hold on. Take that back. Right, so we're ignoring the incomplete lines. And the lines that we run into an error, on that error we add to score. So really, we don't need to ignore the incomplete lines. We can just go through, and if we don't hit a syntax error, then it's just 0. So let's just do it let's do it that way. So hold on, wait a minute. Does that mean? So we're ignoring the incomplete lines? I'm just wondering, like, if it's incomplete and the next line completes it, do we need to do those? I guess not. Maybe that's part 2. So we'll just keep it simple then. Each line is independent. Input.lines dot map something, and we're going to end up, after mapping to a score, we're going to sum them up, and to string, this needs a usize, right? Hey there, cat peasant. How are you today? This evening, this morning, tonight. Okay, this is where I wanted to break it. So map line to, break it up into characters, and then I think we're doing a find map, because we want to find the first syntax error and map it to its score, right? Before we do that, we need to establish a stack of syntax. So that's the way I usually do it. To make things match, you just have a stack. So let's keep it simple and make them characters. So we can push the expected Terminator character. I guess, well, it doesn't really matter. I can just push. Yeah, we can push the expected syntax character. So let mutable delimiters equal just a vector, new vector. And then for every character, match that character. The default's going to be to panic. Unexpected or bad input. Oh, I should trim these lines first, shouldn't I? This should be like line.trim characters. There we go. Okay, so let's list them in order, I guess, of score. So that, you know, that window that pops up has been bothering me. It really has. The opening ones, right? So that, and this all push. And they will say this if see if delimiters dot last equals sum C. That means it's a matching delimiter. Right? You know what I'll do then? Yeah, I'll have all the end delimiters after this, and these garner scores, right? And so all of these are going to return false. And this one too. All of these, though, are going to return true. Oh, sorry, not false, none. All of these are going to return some score. So that's 3. That's 57. Are these prime numbers? I have a feeling these are prime numbers. All right, and then I need to borrow there? Let's say that, sure, borrow the C. But in addition to doing none here, that means the delimiter actually matched, so we want to pop. It's fighting me. We want to pop it, so it would be delimiters pop. Pop, right? Yeah. Removes the last element. Exactly. All of these, though, we want to push. So delimiters push some character. And say none. So just have to push the matching one. Right? And what's wrong with my sum here? How did I get option? Oh, this should have been find map. Right, and what does that output? That should have output. Oh, yeah, we want to do an unwrap. Because we don't want to handle a case where we don't find it, right? Or wait a minute, let me think about this. If we don't find any... No, we do... I don't want to unwrap. I want to say unwrap or 0. There's no score for lines where we don't find a syntax error. Yes. Okay, let's try this. So, run. There we go. Easy peasy. First try. I didn't get my puzzle input, so that's going to fail, right? 0. Let's get our puzzle input. That's a mess. Hey, long time no see. Blazar, how are you doing? I'm doing Advent Code Day 10 of 2021. All in Rust. For your amusement and mine. What do you think? I'll get this on the first try? I had better, because if not, I'll be sad. Because my test passes. We got it. First try. Continuing on to part 2. Now discard the corrupted lines. The remaining lines are incomplete. Incomplete lines don't have any correct characters. Instead, they're missing some closing characters at the end of the line. To repair the navigation system, you just need to figure out the sequence of closing characters. Oh, that's super easy. You can only use those, and you must add them in the correct order. Okay, we're just popping our stack then. So did you know that Autocopy tools also have contests? It's true. So there's a score. Start with 0, then for each character, multiply the total score by 5. Then increase the total score by the point value of that. I see. So it would be, it's 0, then multiply by 5, get 0, add 2. Then multiply by 5, okay, so I got it. So blah, 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 blah. The test answer is that. I think I can get this pretty quick. I think I'm fairly confident I can get this. It's the same test input. Right? So let's do this. Maybe I can actually make a decent rank today, even though I started really late. So we just need to modify this a bit. So we're going to toss all the invalid lines. That means we're going to turn this around, and we're going to say that these are all none. So they score a 0. And for these ones, we still push the delimiter on. Right, so when we get to the end here... Oh, wait a minute, let me think about this. These should say, like, sum 0. Right? No, we need to get all the way to the end. Okay, so we're not doing a find map. We're just doing a for. For C in characters that. This much, right? And then add that. Hold on, I need to make sure that it all matches. It doesn't match yet. Doing some manual lining up here. Okay, there, we got it. All right, so then we don't return these nuns, actually. It's when we reach the end, we want to see what's left in our delimiter stack. Okay, so I do want to do something here. What do I want to do? I think we want to return out instead of doing sum. That means that it's going to return 0 for this whole function so that it won't count towards the score. Okay, and then what's wrong with this? Expected an integer. Correct. Well, actually, it's down here we expected an integer. So yeah, it's going to be for C in delimiters. And we're going to have a score starting with 0, and we're going to return the score. Match C. And we want to go from... we want to pop them, really. So it's really not for C in delimiters. It's while not C, while let sum C equal delimiters pop. Match C, right? Are you going to help me here? Yeah, I know it's missing a match arm. We'll just say that the end is unreachable. The only things we can get are the closing delimiters, the ones that we were expecting to get, right? Okay, and then we're going to do something different for each of these. Essentially the same beginning. No. Yeah, the same beginning for all of them, which is score plus times equal 5, right? Multiply by 5 and then increase. So it's score times equals 5, score plus equal, and it's just a number here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think, right? So every time we pop one, we multiply it by 5 and add one of those numbers. Okay, let's see what we get. Failed. I'm off by a lot, so time to investigate why. Sure, I got the thing in here. Oh, we got a number that was way too high. Oh, wait, hold on. There's this part I didn't get. I didn't read this part. The winner is found by sorting all the scores and then taking the middle score. There will always be an odd number of scores to consider. Okay, so it's different than I thought. So we need to collect these into a vector and let that equal scores, mutable, because after we collect it, we want to do scores.sort unstable and then return scores length divided by 2, right? So if it's 3 divided by 2 would be 1. So add 1. No. If it's 3, then we want 1. If it's 5, we want 2. So that should be right. There. Try again. And now I'm really far off. Okay. Let me see if I got the correct scores. So we'll just narrow down what I got wrong here. So let's debug this part. Let's see what those scores are. Okay. Oh, I didn't toss the zeros. Are the numbers right though? Yeah, I just need to remember to toss the zeros completely. So we want to like filter before we collect. So filter score greater than 0. Now run it again. Syntax error. Oh, dereference. Cool, we got the right answer. So remove the debugging. Actually, I'm not even bothered to remove the debugging. I just want my my rank. Attempt to multiply with overflow. What? Overflow. How about this? Debug. Well, how do I want to do this? Print line diameters. Print line score. See, how did I mess this up? Sorry, it's the actual terminal, please. Cargo run 10-2. Is it using int 32s? Is that why? Hold on. Yeah, okay, we need bigger numbers. U64. We need bigger numbers. There we go. Got it. Catch up on chat. Hey there, Aneurysm. If you've done the thing, it'll be easy. That part is slightly important. Womp womp. Yep. So not too bad. I did start an hour and 20 minutes late, so I'm not going to have a good rank. See what it is. Yeah, 10,000. That's okay. I'm still happy with yesterday's rank. Time to clean up the code a bit, I think. I quite frankly, I thought I'd get worse than 10,000. I thought I'd get like 20,000. Yeah, so if I start an hour 20 minutes late, so how long has it been? It's been 23 minutes. Yeah, an hour, and so I got 14 minutes. If someone has solved this in 14 minutes, I'd love to know what you got for rank. And if someone solved this one in 23 minutes, part 2, I'd love to know what your rank was, because then I'd know what my rank was. Either Romania hate. That was a fun little puzzle, wasn't it? I especially liked the fact that it tripped me up on filtering out those bad syntax lines, that I forgot to do that. Let's clean up the debugs. Any more debugs? Do I have any prints? I do have a print. And that I had to say U64, because the default, I guess, is 32-bit, and nowhere else did I say something with the size, and so it said, like, oh, we can just do 32-bit, no problem. But it really needed 64-bit numbers. Lots of people got tripped up by the answer size too. Oh, by the default 32-bit size. You know, it would be really evil is for them to make it so that it needs 70 bits. And So all the programming languages that have trouble with anything larger than 64 bits, they'd be like, oh crap, how do we count this number that's so big? Another streamer working on it on a Pico 8 where they only have 32-bit numbers. Ooh, brutal. Although, if you're just multiplying and adding, it's not too bad, right? You multiply the lower word, and then you take the carry and set it aside, and then you multiply the upper word and add the carry to that. And adds the same kind of thing, right? So it wouldn't be too bad. Keep number as list. Keeps under 53 bits, so they'll work on JavaScript instant floats. Huh. I wouldn't think Eric would think about JavaScript. I thought he had a Perl perspective, but I don't know. I thought Perl was his gig. Let's see, how do I want to clean this up a little bit, maybe? Cool, I'm getting status updates from one of my kids, so this is good. All right, so lines, map, delimiters. Be nice to get rid of semicolons if I can. Effectively base 5, so it can be represented like that. Oh, I see. Yeah. The score is base 5. Interesting. I didn't think about that. There's no way around sorting. We don't know what order it is in, so I can't get rid of the sort or the collect, unfortunately. Which means I can't get away from this assignment. Can I get away with... Can I not have a delimiter storage? I think I do need that, right? Without some really funky chaining of this loop with this loop. Through some kind of exotic fold. I don't think I'm not gonna bother with that. Oh, this we can abbreviate, right? Or all these could be ORed. There we go. And same thing up here? No, these are different numbers. I could say that these are unreachable. I could just say that, because technically it is unreachable. Unless the input is bad, which it won't be. Eric is definitely J-A-P-H, but he knows lots of people use JavaScript. That makes sense. I think everyone knows people who use JavaScript because it's so pervasive. You didn't use a delimiter storage, Swarm Collective? Just remove all matching pairs until there were no more pairs. Oh, like walked it from left and right? Can you do that though? Or did you walk through it multiple times? I don't know. I can sort of see how you would do that, but I've always just used a stack and pushed onto this stack, and then at the end you just pop them all off and count them. I haven't thought about finding matching pairs like that. Yeah, interesting. Interesting way to think about it. Anything else I can do to help this? I might be able to do away with this while loop. And turn it into a fold, right? I just have to reverse it, which it can do, right? I can just say delimiters reverse. Well, but that mutates it. This technically doesn't, it just changes the length. I think I'll just leave this part. Const update line.replace. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, so then you are walking the string multiple times. I was trying to think of a way you do that without visiting each character more than once. Yeah, the fact that you walk it more than once, I mean, but it's okay. I think this year, brute force is allowed. Did I say hi, Romania Hate? I don't know if I did. But hi, just in case I haven't said hi. And hi, Aneurysm and Swarm Collective. I'll just say hi to everybody again. Cat Peasant. I think the stack is the best approach. I did, yeah. I just forget. But like, if we were challenged with a low memory method, we would want to iterate multiple times, like Swarm Collective is saying, and just, cross out the delimiters that match. Should letters make brute force impossible? That's what they did in 2019. I actually got stuck, I think, on day 22 or something, or 21 because of that. Get more RAMs. It's almost 2022. True. All right. I'm just looking for some low-hanging fruit here. Is it true I have to say 64 there? No, I can do this. There. Now I've saved myself one character. Instead of colon, I have underscore. I mean, a colon space, I mean. Instead of colon space, I have underscore. I don't know. This has always looked weird to me because you don't see that in the closest you see in C or C++ of that is the F for float, or the L for long, I guess. Actually, yeah. I just don't use them very often. So it really shouldn't look that foreign. I guess it's just the underscore? I don't know. But that's probably better because the type is with the actual initializer. I don't know. Splitting hairs. What else can I do here? Is it smart enough to know? It probably isn't. That I'm using vect because it's the only thing that has sort unstable? No, it's not. Didn't think so. All right, I think I'll just accept that. I think that I can improve this instead of doing find map and then unwrap, or I think I can improve on that. How to do that though? Ultimately, I want to find, and I do want to get a value out, so maybe find map is the right answer. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I think I'm just gonna call it. Still need to fix your heap overflow. How's day 10 going? We did day 10 in about 23 minutes. The only problem is I started late. I started an hour and 20 minutes late. So technically I got 23 minutes roughly. Don't know how many seconds. But I couldn't start right at midnight Eastern time. I couldn't start until like an hour 20 after. But other than the late start, I think I did really well. I wish I knew someone else who had a rank, who knows their rank and knows that they got 23 minutes so that I can compare. Or did part 1 in 14 minutes so I can compare. You know, it would be great if you could type in a time and get a rank out so that you can, just for your own personal knowledge, time yourself and then know what rank you would have gotten had you started when it unlocked. That would be nice. But yeah, I did pretty well, I think. I've done this kind of problem before. In fact, I think this was definitely in a previous year of Advent of Code, where you have to match delimiters, and the stack approach works pretty well. I think you were 3,000. Did you finish in? Oh, you finished in 22 minutes. Okay, so then that makes me feel good, because my goal this year is to stay with between 2,000 and 3,000 rank. So you got around 3,000, 22 minutes. I'm happy with that. You were in day 1 or 2 in 2015? Oh, it was in, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. I don't know why, but sometimes we hit a hard problem, a day where it's really hard. And sometimes, like, I think day 8, I got really stuck, and everyone else had a really easy time. 2019, I remember it getting progressively hard to the point where I gave up. 2020, it would go from a good day to a bad day, back to a good day. And it seems like the same thing this year. The parentheses one. I don't think I've done that. So here's what I've done. Nothing on 2015. I've been doing 2016 just like as warm-up. So I've done the first 5 days there. Here's where I gave up on 2019. And I did all 2020. So I get the cool effects that you get when you finish the whole year. Ooh. Still impressive how they do that with CSS. Anyway. Oh, leaderboard. Let's look at this. Day 10. Really? It took them that long? I'd expect people to get that a lot faster. Yeah. They could just recognize it's a delimiter matching problem. They should be able to crank that out really quick. Your best score ever? On day 1? That's the very first day. Oh yeah, parenthesis matching. The first day is usually a gimme, right? Although I don't know about year 1. Wait. It took people 10 minutes? Is that because the art of speed coding Advent of Code hadn't been invented yet? It's gotta be. I bet if they did it today and they flushed the leaderboard and just did it all today, granted people might remember it, but they'd still like do it really fast even if they didn't remember it, right? Someone did it with the regular expression. I can see that. Although that would be pretty gross. About 20 of you knew about it. Yeah, it looks like you had plenty of time to score on the leaderboard. Right? 3 hours? That tells you how popular it's gotten. That now, like day 1, you have to be under 2 minutes and 44 seconds to score on the top. And it's not really getting any better. Probably because it's the same people. They're just, yeah, doing it really fast. Okay, I wanted to look at how I'm doing on the private leaderboards. Ooh, TS Just hasn't done it yet. Where is TS Just? When he does it, he'll probably pass me, right? Because the number of points you have is the number of other people that you do before. So he'll get like 26 points and pass me again. I'm not going to catch up to T-Bod. T-Bod is just, you know, our resident speed coder. Yeah, so was it the Primogen's scoreboard? Everyone, we have some like a good 20 dedicated people doing it, and I'm near the bottom now because I'm not starting when it unlocks. Where's Primogen himself? I thought he got all the way to day 9. Oh, there he is, yeah. So he just hasn't done day 10 yet. And this smaller one, no competition. I guess we don't have enough people on it. Anyway. I guess I will be back in about 22 hours. Oh yeah, what is AOC++? It is people who donate. So, I can just say that I donate $20 every year to it because I'm using the server resources and I think it's a good thing to set a good example. So I've been donating. So that's why you see whenever you see me on these private leaderboards, you'll see that I'm donating. So see 17-hour Metro and some of the other people on the other leaderboards. Yeah, and I have to miss it because I have to work, which sucks. But I should definitely shout out his channel. I don't even know if my shout out thing works, but twitch.tv/theprimeagen. And he has also released some of like some good cuts of him working on admin of code on YouTube. They're hilarious as beep. But yeah, definitely a good watch. Pardon my dog barking. She's sort of on a loose cannon. All right, I'll be back in like 22 hours. Let's see. Probably no one else is working on this anymore, right? If there is, we'll rate someone who is. How about that? Oh, Where is X is still working on it. Let's go rate Where is X. Or Yes Operator. Okay, who should we rate? Okay, Where is X has 106 viewers. Yes Operator has 3. I think we should let chat decide. Oh, hello. I got raided by Where's X? Where's X? You finished and I was about to raid you. How did you do? I started a bit late. So like my real time is an hour and 20 minutes less than this. So I really did this in 14 minutes and then 20 minutes. And I was told that if I had started on time, I would have gotten around the same rank, like 2,000 to 3,000. So I was happy with that. How did you do? So we just pile the raid onto Yes Operator then, who's still working on day 10. Yeah, but hello everybody. I was doing admin to code also. I'll go over before I pass the raid along. I want to say thank you to Where is X. I hope you had fun doing today's problem, and I'll go over my solution. I'm doing it in Rust this year, and when I'm done going through the solution, we'll go raid Yes Operator if they're still going. So, typically my solutions start out with taking the input as a string slice, chopping it into lines, and then mapping each line to something. Here, we took each line and we made a stack. And for all the characters in the line, we did a find. And find map is where you find something and you map it to a result. So as we're going through, if we found the beginning delimiter, we push onto the stack the expected end delimiter for all 4 of those, right? And then if we found a matching delimiter, we would just pop it off the stack. But if we found a delimiter that didn't match, then we stop with that score. Then we take, if we fall through, basically there was no syntax error, it's a 0 score. That's what the unwrap or 0 is for. And then we would just sum all the scores, map it to a string, easy. Part 2 is a little bit different. So it starts off the same, take our input, chop it into lines, map each line. That's where it got a little different, right? No, it's the same. Sorry. We still have a stack for the delimiters, and we still push the expected end delimiter. But the difference here is we're not doing a find map. We're just going through all the characters. So we're going all the way to the end, right? If the delimiter matches, we just pop it. If we have an unexpected delimiter, then it's a syntax error line, and we're told in part 2 to ignore those. So immediately return 0 score, right? But if we get to the end, then we calculate our score by, I was told that this is a base 5 calculation, right? So we're shifting by multiplying by 5 and then adding essentially 0 to 4, but there's no zeros. The score based off of the remaining delimiters, and I had to be careful to go from the end back to the front. So instead of looping through like 4C in delimiters, we pop them off the end to the front. And then I messed up and didn't have this line at first, so that cost me a minute or 2. because if we do this return 0, it still ends up being collected into my vector and then sorted, and then it messes up because we're supposed to sort that list of scores and find the middle, right? But I forgot to remove the zeros. So filtering for scores greater than 0 drops all the 0 scores, and then we got the right answer. So that's how I did it. And I'm loving Rust. I did all of 2020 in Rust. I learned Rust like September, August 2020. And I still am loving it. So did it again this year in Rust. XFCE is finally installing like after 2 hours. Hooray! Yeah, base 5 comes into play here. I didn't recognize base 5 until someone pointed out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a base 5 number. What I was interested in is why these numbers. I thought maybe these are prime numbers, and then that's going to end up making some product of prime numbers or something at the end, but I don't think that went anywhere. Those are just like numbers to shake things up, I think. Would it make sense to use an option there rather than a 0 score? An option? You mean like a none here? And then, but then I would have had to use a sum score there. So you're saying I could have done a none and then a sum score, right? That'll work. It's just I have to, instead of filter score, I would say filter map. Score is what it. It's probably a better way to do this, but something like score dot is sum. If scores is sum, then score unwrap. Oh wait a minute, no, filter map would take off. Okay, I don't need to do anything. It's just filter map on score, right? And that removes the option part. So that should work too. Except for I messed up my syntax somewhere. That should be a return none. Yeah, so I get the same answer. So yeah, there are always little tweaks that you could make depending on your personal preference. So this is, instead of just tossing 0 scores, we still need to have a filter map. It's just that our condition is maybe a little bit simpler. Actually, I kind of prefer the other way, and I'll tell you why. That way was valid, but personally, my personal preference is I stick with this because this reinforces that it's breaking out early, and they don't need a sum there. And then this reinforces that we are really tossing out those lines where we broke out early. But you could interpret it differently, I'm sure. Those are indeed prime, because you need to filter them out. These numbers up here, to filter them out, we just ended up summing them, so I don't really get, I'm not a mathematician, so I don't really get why it's significant that those are prime numbers, but okay, I can accept it. That maybe we need to, like, this avoids some kind of, what am I trying to say? Two answers coming, two interpretations leading to the same number, but when we're summing. Actually, never mind. I don't know anything about it. I am having trouble catching up in chat. I'm probably a few minutes behind now. Filter map should unwrap and skip none. Yeah, exactly. It took me about a minute to figure that out, didn't it? So you can tell that I'm still not a master in Rust. I can figure things out after a while, and it's not always optimal. People will point out, oh yeah, you can do it better this way. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. This is one of the reasons why I stream, is that there are people who know more than me, and they teach me. In return, I teach people back who know less than me. So I feel like it's kind of paying it forward, right? Help people out and then get helped. So thank you for all these suggestions on making it different or better. score equals 0 can be a valid score. That's true, but then it doesn't count, so it's a way for me to just toss them without worrying about them influencing the answer. Oh, wait a minute. You're saying that 0 could be a score. Let me think about that. Well, why didn't they throw me for a loop there then? Right, if you had a line where you had no syntax errors and it perfectly matched so that the delimiters was empty when we got here. So, okay, so that means technically this is wrong. So you've given me a reason why I should have returned none here to distinguish between a 0 because delimiters is empty and then actually having some score. Some 0. Okay, I can accept that. And then that's good enough for me to switch it to that. Filter map, right? What's it telling me to do? Quick fix is to flatten. Ah, yes, flatten. I don't use flatten enough. Whenever you see me learn from the compiler something I should have done, it's because, I'll usually say something like, yeah, I just don't use that enough. Make sure I get the same answers. Yeah, so that didn't change my answer. Good. All right, thank you for the improvement suggestion there. Primes probably make it less likely for a collision. That's the words that came to my mind, but I didn't have a good enough confidence in my understanding of the math to say that. So, Soon Raccoon, thank you for saying that. That backs up what I thought. And getting the answer, yeah, right, even though the code is wrong. Yeah, I appreciate that. You don't know Rust at all, you just know general design principles? That's good. Why don't I use a VS Code theme? I do use the VS Code theme. What is my theme? Theme. I'm using Dark Plus. That's a theme, isn't it? Just black looks clean. I'm a dark mode person. If you say just black, this is pretty dark. Yeah, so they should have thrown in a perfect line, Epsilon. I agree with that. That would have tripped me up, and it would have taken a while for me to figure that out. Inputs from the site won't have that property, but from a corrective standpoint, it's probably better. Yes. Since there are errors on all of them, there will not be a perfect line, but there could be one that they said. They didn't say anything about that everything is either an error or incomplete, did they? So that leaves the possibility that you could have a complete line. So no errors, but no score. In fact, no score on either part 1 or part 2, right? It's the default theme, just black is the theme. No, I'm using dark plus, so that's different from just black, isn't it? So they said all lines were wrong. Oh, they did this. They did say that? Okay. I think I'm almost caught up with chat even. Shall I confirm? For my own to help improve my own memory. All line. Oh, the very first thing they said there's a syntax error on all lines. Okay, so they consider an incomplete line a syntax error, but it didn't score in part 1 for some reason. Oh, I see. They're saying that the line is either corrupted or incomplete. Either way, it's considered a syntax error. Got it. See, I don't, especially when I'm trying to get a good time, I speed read this. You accidentally relied on that in your initial part 1 solution. I was very surprised it worked. I still think that this is the correct thing to do, though, because it is capable of supporting more than what the rules say without breaking any of the rules. No time to read. Yeah, exactly. I don't got time to read. I'm competing with people who can do this puzzle in 3.5 minutes. They're done by the time I'm finished reading it myself. Okay, I think it's time, as long as yes operator is still going, that we send the raid train onto them and help support them in finishing part 10, day 10. So let's do that. Yes, operator. Yes, get your raid scythes out and share the love, all right? I'll be back tomorrow to do day 11. I'm sure Where's X will probably be back tomorrow too. So until then, have fun. Bye.